school friends. So this week we are going to continue talking about insects, but this time we're going to ask the question, how do insects change? And we've already talked a little bit about this when we've read through some of our stories over the last few weeks, but this week we're going to learn a little bit more. We're going to start by learning a little bit about the butterfly life cycle, and we're going to do that by reading a book first. And the name of our story is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And the author and illustrator of this book is Carle. He wrote some of the other books we've been reading throughout this study. He wrote The Grouchy Ladybug and The Lonely Firefly and The Quiet Cricket. And now he wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So in this book, we're going to follow along as this caterpillar hatches from the egg and moves through the whole life cycle. And you'll get a surprise at the end. Ready? Let's get started. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There's the little egg. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. There he is. He's very, very small. He started to look for some food. So it sounds like when a caterpillar hatches out of the egg, they come out very hungry and they need to start looking for food right away. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through two pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through three plums, but he was still hungry. Have you ever tried a plum? Me too. It's one of my most favorite fruits. On Thursday, he ate through one, two, three, four strawberries. I love strawberries. He was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through five oranges. But guess what? You're right, he was still hungry. Look at all of that food. On Saturday, he ate through one piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone, one pickle, one slice of Swiss cheese, one slice of salami, one lollipop, one piece of cherry pie, one sausage, one cupcake, and one slice of watermelon. That was a lot of food. And you know what? It says that night he had a stomach ache. Sometimes that happens when we eat too much food, or maybe when we eat a lot of food that really wasn't healthy for us. And he kind of did. He ate some cake and some ice cream and some candy and some pie and a cupcake. He ate a lot of very unhealthy food. And he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. So that leaf helped him feel much better. Oh my goodness, look how big he is. He got so much bigger from eating all of that food and growing. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself, and he stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and do you know what happens next? I think you might. I think you might know. He was a beautiful butterfly. The end. So that was our story called The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about each of the stages of the caterpillar's life cycle. So we're going to start on the first page with the egg. That's the first step in the life cycle of a butterfly. They start as an egg. And then once they hatch from their egg, the little caterpillar is called a larva. And it is called a larva through the whole thing. You see he's eating and growing and getting bigger. And remember we talked about how insects molt? That means they get too big for their current body, for their exoskeleton. Remember when we talked about how the exoskeleton's on the outside of the body? Well, when the insect keeps growing and growing and growing, like the caterpillar does, it gets too big for its exoskeleton and then it molts or it sheds out of its body. So it comes right out of its body and forms a new exoskeleton. So that happens over and over again with the caterpillar larva. So as it eats and grows and eats and grows, it keeps shedding its exoskeleton and getting a new one. So it's called a larva through the whole thing until he's nice and big. And then when the caterpillar makes its cocoon or chrysalis, that part is called the pupa. So we go from an egg to a larva to the pupa. And then once it comes out of the cocoon and it looks like the butterfly, that's the adult. So a caterpillar is really just a baby butterfly. So that's part of the life cycle of a butterfly, and it shows you how that insect changes. Now that happens with a bunch of other insects, like ladybugs go through it, and grasshoppers, and even dragonflies, and we're going to talk more about those on a different day. So today I just wanted to get us started learning that there is a life cycle of the different insects, and we focused on one that I know everybody would know about, and that's the butterfly. So remember, it goes from egg to larva to pupa to adult. So if you were a butterfly, what color would you like to be? And what would be your favorite thing to eat if you were a caterpillar? Remember all the food that he ate in the story? What would be your favorite? Let me know in the comments, or like always, you can draw me a picture. See you next time.